Welcome everybody. It just turned from 151 to 52, which is the King and Queen of Swords. Let's go ahead and take a deep breath first. Another deep breath. And one more deep breath. Sending lots of love and deep blessings, you guys. And hope you had a great holiday weekend. And thank you so much for being here with me. I'm going to roll the die first, and then we're going to get into it. I have the read on the table. The twin flame read on the table is actually what I brought up for Saturday, but I couldn't get it to you on Saturday. And then yesterday, I was going to do some work with you guys yesterday, but it was more important that I spend time with my sister yesterday. There's a lot of energies that came up this weekend. We'll get into that stuff in a second. Let's go ahead first and roll the die. This is for the twin flames. Today is the 18th of April 2022. So today's the day our taxes are due. So there's a lot of mixed energies coming up this weekend, and we've been getting some like really tough downloads. Let's see what the dice say first. For the twin flames, it's April 18th, 2022. We have the 6, which is the Gemini, the twins, the June energy here. And again, that's Mercury as well. We have the South node coming up here, which is Scorpio. Okay, so letting go of those Scorpio traits that no longer serve you, as well as Taurus energies, which is the North node. So we have that axis of Scorpio and Taurus here, both coming up here. So following the lead of Taurus energy, letting go of the Scorpio energies, which is, tax day, because one of Scorpio's traits is money and taxes. And again, the 6 is not only the lovers of Gemini, but also the love, family, and community, that energy of day-to-day life, the middle of the astrological chart as well, from the 6 to the 7, right between there. And actually in numerology, that's the sweet spot as well, from 4 to 7. Airing just to the side of the light, or in the body, alkaline and acidity, airing to the side of the alkaline, or the more neutral. And let's see how this goes with Taurus and Scorpio going on today during the dance of the lovers. And breathe. So I went to a family birthday party on Saturday for my nephew's daughter, which was a lovely day on Saturday. But the energies always hit me, and I go out to eat when I'm doing those things too, which also affects my body. I'm not used to eating inorganic foods, and so I always kind of feel it afterwards. And so I usually need a day to clear after a family gathering like that. But then I decided it was more important to spend time with my sister yesterday. But boy, did I get hit. We took a nice long walk, which was beautiful. But then I was just exhausted. I could not keep my eyes open. I just wanted to sleep, and I felt kind of crappy from the food that I eaten for 2 days as well, because we ordered out yesterday. So there's definitely some downloads coming in, and some of that stuff will come up in the reads as well, regarding what's coming through. But what was really cool, when I got home from the birthday party on Saturday, I found 6 letters in my pocketbook. So one of my nephew's children put their alphabet letters in my pocketbook. So it was like a message for me to figure out, right? And it was 6 letters. I'm going to give you those 6 letters, so I'd love to hear your feedback on what you come up with these 6 letters, or what they're symbolic to for you as well. And the letters that came up in my pocketbook were the letters C, E, K, I, X, and P. So you tell me what comes up there for you, and I'm going to tell you what came up for me here. So, and before that, not last night, but the night before, I was falling asleep, and right as I was falling asleep on the couch, so I would have had to get up and go to bed anyway, but I started to see a moth doing like a flip, or like a small butterfly doing a flip in a circle, and it woke me up to open my eyes real quick to look at the time, and it was 12:21 at that time. So whatever that symbolically means to you as well was very significant to me when I saw it. It's like a coming full circle energy of freedom, right? And I've been getting that card of the moth about to fly free from the chrysalis as well. So it's that same type of energy. And the stone breaking plant, the plumber's snake was coming up yesterday as well. And so what I was getting from the letters that I just told you, there's a few things that came up, but the first thing came up because my nephew's wife's name is KC, which is two of the letters, K and C. So that was definitely coming up because it was her son, one of her two little sons who put the little alphabet letters in my purse. And so a lot of different things came up, and a couple of them were pretty profound. So again, KC Pixie was coming up, as in my nephew's wife, but also KC Pix E, which can reference a lot of things about the divine feminine, but also energy as well. And she actually is a new mom of the third child, so she's very busy taking care of little kids right now, which you all know is a very difficult thing to do. And of course, the I and the X were coming up, which can be the Roman numeral 9, but the 11 as well, depending on the position of them. And then Z came up, or the XIE, as well as I-10 was coming up, and Peck, some of the different words that came up. Peck, Pick, Pike, Pice, Kepi, Epic also. To see, Epic, or Epic to see was coming up here, as well as the Chariot pick, the bird pick, or perhaps picking the bird, or the root pick, and again you can exchange them either way. And the acronym KPC, which is actually a reference for where is it? Parsecs, which are parallax seconds in astronomy. That was coming up as significant here. And the acronym, or the word actually, KI, has many different meanings, but one of them is key, which KI you can pronounce as key as well, but also in the pin, which references my pin about how the feminine collects the sun and distributes to the masculine and that kind of energy. But there's a lot of stuff that you can look up and check out regarding that. But I was really kind of fixated on the parallax, the parallaxis, and the KPC reference to that that acronym for kiloparseconds, or parallax seconds, or parsecs is the abbreviation. So when I looked up parallax, parallaxis came up, as well as alteration, to cause, to alternate, to alter or other, or an apparent shift in the position of two stationary objects relative to each other as viewed by an observer. And the observer is very important here, right? 'Cause that's that third energy of light and dark, and then the neutral one in between, observing both sides, due to a change in the observer position. So for an example, if you're looking up at the planets and then you move 10 feet and look again, you're going to get a very different perspective. So to measure regarding distance based on the parallax observations, to produce an illusion of levels of distance by shifting the layer at different rates as well. So again, that's talking about changing vibration. So seeing things, distorting things based on vibration. And again, I was getting parallel universes there, or parallel lax. LAX was coming up here. But the parallel is the same thing as parallax, but without the LEL, which LEL means loyalty and trustworthiness. And so the way it was coming up, with the letters was the beauty, grace, and charm of XIE, of the parallel and yet untrustworthy and disloyal and lax KPC, which is that 1,000 parsecs or parallax seconds. And again, the reference to the 1,000 years, the 1,000 suns of the KPC, okay? And the beauty and ugliness and being able to see both from different perspectives. So that was a very cool energy. And what came up this morning was an Aztec god. So it's coming up as KC XIPE. So XIPE is an Aztec god, the son of the dual male-female divinity Amediotl. I'm not sure how it's pronounced, but again, it's Aztec. This is from thoughtco.com. This is a powerful fertility god, and in the Aztec mythology, the XIPE was the son of the dual man-female divinity Omediotl, which is the actual powerful fertility god and most ancient god in Aztec Pantheon, related to death in Aztec underworld. And there's a lot of information you can look up on that, about the history of that, but I don't want to go into too much of that. But they were also considered the god of the seashore people. It's the Totec. Totec means our Lord, and then XIPE is the flayer, or the flayed one, because they would sacrifice people and then wear their skin, but it wasn't as a torture mechanism. It was these people wanted to do this because in their culture, to die a normal death was to actually suffer more in the afterlife. Whereas if you died on the battlefield or you died as a sacrifice, it was actually a great honor, and you got to live in a heaven-like place. So, and Spirit's connecting with me. So these were the god of the seashore people, the proper god of the Zapotecs. And when unhappy, the flayed one, when he was unhappy with his people, he caused a great array of eye irritations, which is so funny because I've been trying to find a way to clear up my red eye syndrome, because I can't even wear makeup anymore because everything irritates my eyes. And diseases. Again, to be cured, the people would agree to wear those skins of other people that sacrificed themselves for the community during the celebration feast every year. And this was central Mexico's 16th century, 15th to 16th actually. The god of agriculture, smithing, like metalwork, and then seasons as well. We're all coming up for this god. And yeah. So I just want to make sure there's nothing else that came up for them. Yeah. So yeah, I'd love to hear back if there's certain things that are very specific to you that regard those 6 letters. I would love to hear back from you. And I love that in this Aztec culture, the god was masculine, feminine. It wasn't a masculine or feminine god; it was both. And also the word Totec meant our Lord. He is our Lord, but they also had a word for the lady Lord. So literally, it was Lord wasn't God, right? It's just like the lady and the Lord of the house. It's the same type of energy, that they were both parts equal gods in the Aztec culture. And they also called the place where God sits as the 13th heaven, right? Which fits into everything that we understand. All right. So I have a Metatron read for you that I did today. And I have the read on the table for you as well. So I'm going to get into the Metatron read first. Let me show you their Metatron read. So here's the Metatron Deck read. For those of you not familiar, these are the underlying energies, the bottom of the deck. First card out, going across, 12, and then 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and these are extra as well. This one was actually an extra, and this one was out of the deck when I shuffled it, so there was a significance there as well. So this was the Metatron read. And this was done at 11:31 to 32 this morning. and the birds are just chirping out in the tree. They were just showing me themselves, and they're actually playing. They were just circling together in the sky. That was kind of cool to see. 1131 to 32, which is the 31 of the Five of Wands, the 32 of the Six of Wands, which is the group play or events, which can be battling as well or competing games, going into the 32 of the journey of bringing the good news at the end of the war, right? There's no more war going on, and being successful and leading the way. They're so cute out there. I'm not sure what kind of bird it is. I see a robin, but the other one doesn't look like a robin. Very cute. All right, 11 is alignment and justice, which is truth and balance. And the underlying energy cards, well, the bottom of the deck was Akashic Records, which was very significant. I just watched Magenta Pixie before I came on as well. And she was talking about some of the uploads or downloads or things that were coming in on Easter yesterday. And Akashic Records definitely came through in this reading as well. So there's some parallels, which I'll bring up as they come. But the bottom of the deck here in the read was Akashic Records, the 12 of wisdom and seeing new perspectives. And then the first card out was the family, which is the 49, has the number 49, which is the Get Your Wish card. It's that 9 of Cups of being self-satisfied. So the underlying energies were done at 1137, which is justice, and the 37 of the King of Cups and unconditional love and alignment with that. And to shower in that diamond light, don't forget to go within for clarity on the shower, on the shadow, answer the call to the dance of the masculine and feminine, leading the way with flame in hand to review Akashic Records, be wise, and see new perspectives. And a lot of what was coming up too about why Akashic Records is coming up so importantly right now is because one of the messages here came in regarding doing without the chakra system. Or in other words, truly embodying what we've pulled in from the Akashic Records as opposed to just accessing it through our chakra system, literally embodying it. So that'll come up in the read as well, but I wanted to bring that up to make sure I accentuated that. So to shower in that white diamond light before going to the Akashic Records, or perhaps the private whispering bench room in the Akashic Records for you and your twin, to clear the shadow before review, and also before going into family circles or parties like I went to this weekend, or life gatherings for self-satisfaction, right? Family circles of life and gatherings for self-satisfaction, and working on family divisions, of people not seeing on the same page and how to bring these things together. And again, 1139 is that Knight of Cups of being love. The keys to your freedom in being present in those family energies, because that's a lot of where our wounds lie from our childhood, and the messages of truth. And then go with the flow, one-to-one, on that whispering bench, releasing the Knight of Wands, getting busy energy, that extra energy that the Knight of Wands has, giving back to the family. Lead with love for life, being the wind beneath your family's wings. You're arcing that one-to-one energy to the cosmos for inspiration and helping them release excess energy they don't need as well. The King of Cups is being called to look up, to ground in the sunrise in the grass. So again, those who are feeling very sad or doing a lot of purging might want to get up at sunrise and sit in the grass as the sun comes up over the horizon to literally get the effects of the sun going through the earth at that moment, because it's not above the ground yet. So again, more grounding energies. Going upstairs as the Knight of Wands inspires, along with the Messenger of Truth, the Knight of Swords, and the King of Cups here, whose head is down. They need to look up and release the drama and their conditions of love and go with the flow in the wake-up call to the cosmos that's mirroring you as the crystal star, or in other words, that call of the wake-up. In the Akash, open a book of ancestral history from the future and the life bulb, which is your womb, the life bulb that's in your DNA, the shell in the womb with the phased array that reflects the sun's phased array of self-love and inspiration, of compassion for self and the inner child, destined to phased array back from the sun in this new dawn in the age of Aquarius. Welcome back, where the rays of the womb and the sun cross paths, and this is reflecting the earth's womb as well, the waters. The rays cross paths between the womb and the sun, and the rainbow bridge the water wombs of Mother Earth, grounding in the sunshine rays, from the depths of her oceans to the phased array of the Father behind the beloved Son, and the new dawn to the new dusk of the sunrise and the sunset, and to notice that the sun sets and it does not fall. Like expanding and contracting, it doesn't fall. Like rising and falling, it sets. Like we brought up before, the 5 and the 6 in math regards distribution. I think 6 was something around shaping after the distribution, as opposed to expanding violently like an explosion and then contracting violently. We're not going to the extremes here. At 11:55, which is justice and alignment and the truth of Excalibur here. And perhaps the Excalibur. Brr. So again, regarding numerology, we have the 1 and the 2 of the extreme polarities of the masculine and feminine coming into the 3 and 4 of gaining control over abundance on this planet. And then through the 5 and 6, which is more about vacation and family and truly enjoying yourself, of distribution and then shaping instead of such polarity. And then the 7 and 8 of rest and manifestation, going within. That truly spiritual side, which is that final kind of level before the 9-10, which is the begin again, because it's the transition to the next level. The galactic star, the human womb, the sun on the earth, revealing the tomb or the valley in the shadow of death. The hermit is called to take action here, to run with the big bird's shadow. And this doesn't mean you have to start working out like crazy. It just means it's taking action to run with the big bird's shadow, right? Who are you? And the Lyran energy is bird energy and cat energy. And the birds have been coming up a lot here because the bird is also related to the dragon energy coming up. And also what was coming up here is the seagulls and the eagles, as opposed to eagle, the E of the feminine, the divine feminine gulls, and the seagulls, which is that Poseidon energy. And then the King of Swords diamond wings of purity and innocence, and the energetic exchange with the sun in the valley, birthing a new heart in the Page of Cups, that pure innocent energy of evolution here. So again, it's the evolution of our body, and part of the words that are going to come up here at the end have to do with really grounding the whatever we brought down through our chakra system into our being, into our whole matter being, our bodies. So that we actually become the embodiment of that new energy, which then we become the evolution of that energy. So evolution was being broke down here as the Eve of the 0, which is the human embodiment of source, of the Lution. There's no actual word for Lution, but there is for Lusion, which is the energy of playing, but without the I on the end, and the lowercase I for me is the chakra system. So again, it's when you learn to play as a human without doing it through the chakra system, then you've literally embodied that and grounded that energy into your human matter, your DNA. The energy of evolution, the eve of existence and essence as well, of the TION, which is the male tiger and lioness combination, to aim, and also the eve of human play, but without the chakra system, or in other words, to embody your knowing of this. And then evolution is also the evolution, and volution is in turn, roll, revolve, coil, twist of the E of energy, right? The twist or shift of energy, the evolution from the sun in the new dawn of the Kentucky Fried Chicken's coming up with KC as well. In the sun of the new dawn, I'm getting in Kentucky Fried Chicken, I'm getting the names Ken. I just spoke to a Ken. Ken, it could be the state, something about Kentucky as well. And then the chicken who got burned, right? The chicken crossing the road thing. Why did the chicken cross the road? To not get burned, or what? I came up before. I've probably brought it up a few different times because they had different little jokes coming in. But there's something about Kentucky Fried Chicken relating to the chicken crossing the road. So from the sun in the new dawn of KC, 1-to-1, going with the flow, to the then the KC here is not actually the letters from the letters in my purse, although they were. This is coming up as the King of Cups. And the King of Cups is unconditionally loving. And I have to say my nephew's wife is very much an unconditionally loving person. So it's very much that energy of the really loving, like really level mother who just goes with it, even though, you know, you have 3 little kids. It's insane. So that energy of going one-to-one, going with the flow, to the King of Swords in the energetic exchange of ancestral appreciation and healing with the Page of Cups' new heart of that pure innocent love. Birthing the new sun and the core daughter that came up the other day of the earth's core being the daughter, right? Like the sun is the son of the central sun of the God, the earth and the sun, and all on her evolving to the pure heart. So everyone is doing the same thing together, right? Mother Earth, we're all the bacteria, like we have bacteria on our skin at all times. Well, we're the bacteria on Mother Earth's skin. It's the same thing. We're all one unit here. And evolving in that way. So the twin flames untying the knots here of the electromagnetic grid of the masculine and the feminine, the electric and the magnetic, with the compassion of ancestors reflected back to you at the sunset. So in the evening time when the sun sets, it's a time to purge, just like babies do right after a birthday party. What do they do when they get home? They just cry their asses off to get all the extra energy out of their bodies. And, you know, if they have other energies like constipation, the kids will just cry for hours around dinner time. It's the same type of energy coming up, that's a time to purge, to sit in the sunset and see the reflection of the sunset as your ancestors being reflected back to you, holding you in their compassion, knowing that you're purging at this time. So again, to purge out the excess energy at the end of the day, just like grounding in the sunrise in the morning, here's the endings time where you are held, because then it becomes dark and that's time to go to bed, right? The Queen of Wands to stretch and lunge, to connect and attune by releasing that excess energy. Reach up to receive and let go. So remember the words here, right? We don't want to resist and we don't want to attach. Those are extreme words and energies. We want to allow and let go or release. The indigo energy here, which actually came up with one of the dragons in Magenta's video just now. So you might want to, if you're a twin flame, you might want to watch that. But so the indigo is coming up here in my read as the star, you know, that star indigo child who's whole and balanced, mastering the mysteries of life, aligning with that wake-up call to listen and take note and tone. So you might want to tone as well, maybe do some oming. And again, the energy of the dinner call home, of the mother calling the sons home or the children home for dinner. As above, so below, it's time to love self, love spirit, and allow new love. To reflect and reach out, which are 2 other words to be able to use here, right? Allow and release, but also reflect and reach out to others. In compassion, the evolution of birthing the innocent heart and receiving that chaos from the sun of life, that pure life energy, to transmute the light and the dark, that you are that powerhouse. You are that collection chamber that processes the sunlight into a usable energy. The alchemy of the compost, for example, and recycling trash, finding other uses for the old and discarded, finding other uses for the good, the bad, and the ugly. How can we see things in a new perspective and taking something that's deemed as bad and putting it to good use of healing capacity, of nourishment, beauty, of abundance, joy, peace, and of course love. As the divine feminine allows the sun in her womb, the divine masculine must allow that sun into his heart. The womb to tomb to loom, which is the grid, of the pineal, pituitary, and thymus glands were coming up here. So, you know, you hear about the pineal gland a lot, but you don't hear about the pituitary as much. And then again, the thymus gland has been coming up a lot in some of the videos lately, which references the high heart energy. But there's a parallel here between the pituitary and intuition, because it has that twit energy in the middle, the TUIT, which is the twin towers of you and I in between. And in intuition, it's in the twin tower, you and I, ION, which is ion, which is connection. In the twit, the twin tower, you and I connection. So the pituitary is the pi in the towers of the you and I airy connection, which I'll tell you in just a minute. So there was a parallel here. Airy means the bumblebee, the spleen. It also means rejection and abandonment, which is so perfect because in intuition, it's the in-twit connection of abandonment and rejection of the twin flames of each other. And here's the pituitary, which airy literally means rejection and abandonment. It also means made or created, year, there, and any, and the spleen and the bee, like I said already. So then I went into the dictionary to get the specific words they used to define thymus, pineal, and pituitary, and this was very enlightening as well. So, of course, you know the thymus gland, and it has to do with immunity, but also the definition is a warty excretions, or a type of wart, right? Something that we like to get rid of, the thymus. But it has to do with health and immunity system, right? And then the pineal, of course, is melatonin and sleep and dream time. And it's also shaped by like the pine cone, the pine nut of the pine, the shape of the pine. And then the pituitary gland is mucus, phlegm. It's the clammy moisture, or to be fat or swollen here. And it's also described as the pea, right? So you have the pine cone, the pea, and thymus is literally thy muse. And muse can be anything. It's literally defined, M-U-S, as cards, hat, mouse, sparrow, to be muse, to have the pocket knife as your muse, you know, as a young boy, of course, they'd love a pocket knife. And the elk, the moose, the mouse, but the computer mouse too, these are all different muses that people have. Also the cabin boy, which came up for me because my great-grandfather almost died as a cabin boy on a ship. He wanted to go on a ship. He ran away from home because his parents wouldn't buy him a violin. And thank goodness his parents found him before the ship took off, because he was going to be the cabin boy. And the cabin boy who did leave on that ship with that captain was killed by the captain. So it was very interesting how that came up. Also, constraint and coercion came up, as well as the vagina being a muse here, and muscles, you know, working out, things like that. So again, the thymus is coming up as thy muse of health, of immunity. What keeps your immunity high is doing things that you love to do, your muse, and that can be artwork as well. The pituitary is like the manager here, right? It's the pit, right? Like the pit boss. And the pea, like the pea pod. And then the twit connection, right? The twin towers of you and I, with the pi and the airy of abandonment and rejection. And again, it's described as mucus or phlegm, or to be fat or swell. So in other words, it's like the control of the other endocrine glands, which is literally the definition, and influences the growth, metabolism, and maturation. So in other words, the expansion, the grounding and integrating, and the becoming more. So again, the embodiment of those energies that we're bringing down from the sun, from the diamond light. So the pine cone pineal for sleep, the thymus is the wart juice for immunity health, and the pit, or the pituitary, is the P of mucus or fat or swelling, the managing of others, the protecting from themselves, like fat does. You know, fat's like an autoimmune reaction, rejecting you from yourself. So you see fat that protects you from you hurting yourself. So that same type of energy is coming up regarding the pituitary gland that protects the thymus and the pineal from themselves, from overreacting, right? So that they don't just sleep all day and grow warts. So the pi, the pit, and thy, which can be thigh. The pi, like we eat, the pit, like the pit of the olive, and the thigh, like a thigh of chicken that we eat. The pi, pit, and thigh, thy muse, and pi, in the pit of twits, rejection, of in-twit connection, the twin towers of you and I in connection, and also can come up as the three of them together as the pithy muse, the pineal and thymus, and then ends up as the definition of concise and meaningful, spongy or having small holes or pits, which then brings up the pituitary, which is the manager here that the pithy muse are trying to get away from, so they don't, right, hang over their shoulder and watch them all day. It's really cute the way it came up. So the underlying energy here was clear, lead, and review. The first column was about the family heart release with a wake-up call to run with the big bird's shadow. The second, which can be the dragon energy. And then the Knight of Swords. Remember, when you look in the mirror really close at your face, you look like a dragon. That's your natural energy. But again, the distortion that Magenta was bringing up is that, they've taught us to be afraid of the dragon, because then you'd be afraid of yourself. Because when you look in the mirror, you actually see a dragon. So the second energy here is the Knight of Swords, arcs or inspires the Page of Wands to purify their wings with diamond lights and an innocent heart. The third column is going with the flow, water and whispering bench, grounding at sunrise, and clearing the debts. Clearing, that could be debts as well. I meant to say decks. But clearing debts and decks, since it's tax day, at the far sun, and then connecting with ancestors at night along with the innocent heart. Okay, so now for the read on the table. And also that TION came up again, the tiger-lion energy of the masculine and the feminine. The masculine tiger, the feminine lioness. All right, so here is the twin flame read on the table. I'll get you the original read here. So here's the message, and you see the lovers right in the middle of the read as the central energy. Okay, and you have the Knight of Cups up here as well. It's actually quite beautiful cards. And the towers and the underlying energy there. And that's the SIRIAN Starseed deck. And then here's the full 7-deck read. Okay. All right, so this was cut and dealt at 7:25. The 7 is the Chariot, the 25 is the Knight of Wands. And this is a lot of the full moon energies were coming up in this read, as we went from the full moon right into tax day and Easter, right, going from the crucifixion to the rising, which, there's the story too about Jesus getting off the cross and actually, leaving with Mary Magdalene and having a child named Sarah. And again, the church that came out the other day about him dying on the way to visit Sarah at this little chapel. So there's all these energies coming up, right? So of violence and taxes, right? Which is, money is one of the top reasons anyone fights over anything. And so you've been processing those feelings, and I'd love to hear back on how you guys have been feeling this weekend. There could be very beautiful energies as well as very harsh or difficult energies, very tiring energies. And at 7:37, which is the Chariot and the King of Cups of unconditional love, again, chalices came up, heart and emotions, and the S of Sophia energy, the divine feminine here, and the mother energy here. I finished clarifying at 7:53, which is the Chariot and the Knight of Swords, again, the messenger of truth, can also be the Knight in shining armor. And the major arcana, there's a lot in this read. We had the Tower, the Lovers, Reflection, which is the Hermit, Luna, the Moon, Hanging Man, Reason, which is the Emperor, Starseed, which is the Fool, Shadow, which is the Devil, and after the read was Transition, which is the Death card. We had 1 sword, 1 pentacle, and 1 cup, so 111 also came up. As far as the court cards in the read, Knight of Swords, Knight of Pentacles, Knight of Cups, 3 knights. That's all the court. That's all of the numbered cards, or rather the non-trump cards that were in the read here. They're all major arcana except for 3 knights: Knight of Swords, Knight of Pentacles, Knight of Cups. So the Knight of Wands was missing here. But prior to the read was the King of Swords and the 9 of Cups, which can be emotional sovereignty. And after the read was the King of Wands and the Queen of Cups together. There were no numbers within the read, but the cards outside the read that I pull on either side had double 7s, which is the sovereignty energy. And also the numbers 3 was significant of the Empress, 9 significant of the Hermit, and also 5, 6, 7, made in heaven. But also the 5D is that jump off point to 6 and 7 as well, 6 being instant manifestation, and 7 is where you aren't seen in the 3D realm anymore as a as a density, really, because when you're talking density and dimension, it's a little bit different when you're talking about ascension here, because we're going to be in the fourth density for a very long time, but we are shifting in dimensions and consciousness. So the code line here is all about healing, which was broken up into Healy and NG. And I always think of nitroglycerin first when I see NG. So again, there could be something explosive regarding Healy. And I always get major Healy when I hear that word. So again, I guess MASH, isn't that MASH? So there could be some war stuff, MASH units stuff going on and explosions here. But I was just getting misfit toys. And Thaddeus. So again, the knights are very significant here, and knight is also in the code line. So there's 3 knights here, and today's the 18th. So 18th, 19th, and 20th, we come up to the 21st after three knights here. So the 21st, of course, is always a significant time in the changing of the months. But April 21st is coming up as something significant here. But it was also 3 knights. I mean, today could be the 3rd night too, because I did this for Saturday. So today could be very significant as well. Today and the 21st. So we have healing, and the Island of Misfit Toys for some reason is coming up here. And maybe there's a place where all, some of the tortured children have been taken to heal, being that it has to do with healing. And we have, I'm always, as soon as I saw the first 2 letters in the code line too, I keep getting mana mana bum ba da da da, mana mana bum ba da da, right? So that was coming up as well. Spirit's connecting with me on that one too. There's a lot about kid stuff, isn't there, right? Like Muppets and the Misfit Toys and the Island healing. So I just want to see what I might have missed when I did this before. So again, there's a lot about reflection here, and the night, and Han is coming up too, but not unsure. It's like, how something starts to fade away? That's the Han energy. Like, is it really Han or is it not? So you can reference that as the Han Chinese, the Han Solo, right? Thor Han for Elena Denon. There's a lot of different ways Han can come up here. But also Anne can be coming up there as well. And Thaddeus, and Sit Fit. I don't know if there's some kind of fitness thing that's called Sit Fit, but that could be coming up as well. What the interpretations came up as, the number 7 came up here too, in Fiti. The monk with supernatural powers or charm that won't stop or end. Right? That it's like the monk with supernatural powers, it's the truth teller, who won't end because you're in your knowing, it's not a belief. And again, seen as a fool perhaps, but the fool is the open heart leap of faith, and perhaps seen as an idiot. And the police officer was also coming up here as poisonous or source reflection regarding overtaken, regarding health, and nitroglycerin was coming up. So somebody might be taking nitroglycerin for heart issues. Maybe somebody did too much. Maybe this tax season was too much for someone. There may be some health issues there. Or, the police officer came up right next to poison. So I don't know if there was a police officer that was poisoned in the news, or there's a police officer that's poisonous. They can both come up here. But again, it's the monk with supernatural power or charm that won't stop or end. Or this is a fool, an idiot, or a police officer. Or there may be some kind of poisonous or source reflection here, overtaken somebody's health. And again, nitroglycerin can reference an explosion as well. And then also is coming up as single, alone, time out to join, to try something new perhaps, or leap, jump, recoil, to spring back a tad. I am useful, I hold, restrain, without being stingy, or being a corpse, without spinning it, or without weaving it, without weaving a lie, right? Being able to be still, like in meditation, but without being under suspicion, right? Without spinning it, making some kind of something other out of it, without weaving a lie, a rumor, a reflection. The Hermit and the Knight and the good Han here, perhaps Han Solo, or overtaken in Christ healing here regarding health and the I Am presence. Perhaps solitary, taking a time out to expand and contract or reflect in the middle, to source to the nth degree the after-death energy here of restraint without being Scroogey. I don't know if someone's faking their death as well, right? Wanting to be like a corpse without making a spin on it, just, an after-death type of thing. So again, solitary time out, expanding, contracting, or staying in the middle to reflect, sourcing to the nth degree that energy of after-death or restraint without being Scroogey. And eye health is really coming up. So health issues definitely coming up in the I Am presence. And the source reflection of after-death test, which is the Knight. And again, Anne Healy, that name was coming up. Or a healing. Or healthy, ingenious, natural gas, which can reference ether as well. And then the M of the mother, or also can be referencing to a Mana, which is the Pleiadian feminine god. The M, show of power, sit fit, or perhaps exercising in a chair for someone who can't stand up to exercise, or the expansion and contraction, or reflecting in the middle, the tithing, or being tight with your wallet, and the after-death sourcing, or seventh note of the Hermit, Knight, Han, and healing, and yet explosive at the same time. So the Tower starts out reversed here in the underlying energy, is that card on top. Sorry, I can't even see that. So this card on top here with the minis, and then the cards beneath that Tower reversed is the King of Swords upright, the Nine of Cups upright, the Six of Cups upright, and then the Three of Swords and Five of Cups both reversed, and then the Tower reversed on top. The King of Swords is coming up as happy with themselves, with the Six of Cups, whether that's happy children, happy inner children, happy energy with a soulmate, or a past life connection, your twin flame. It's that positive energy between two souls, or fond memories, and healing the heart, and healing from grieving as well. After sudden events or epiphanies or sexual exchange, standing up for self to tell the truth. Maybe somebody's watching the old show to tell the truth. Reaping rewards and dropping the act to manifest big, with the Magician awakening to the Page of Cups reversed, rejection and or vulnerability, getting over loss but drained by the King of Swords. We have Virgo or Gemini upright here, and Pisces or Capricorn reversed, who may be over it here, the guilt and shame, at 9:14, the Hermit and the Temperance card, or that higher love of the patient angel, perhaps feeling burned, or there just ain't no sunshine when she's gone. At 9:14, again, the Hermit and the Temperance, which is Virgo and Sagittarius, getting over it, falling off the horse. The King of Swords with 16 channels all on board and just discovering it. Getting over exile, detoxing and walking away, and still without peace. Perhaps chained sexually, always something missing, or in need of peace at the full moon, with the eclipse season coming up. I think it's the 30th. Give your relationship a chance, and beneath that's romantic feelings. The Page of Wands reversed comes up here next, being very frustrated, or perhaps out of control, or tired, or sick. And the Knight of Pentacles reversed here also, which is that reference of being stubborn or lazy or resistant to work or move or do anything. Refusing to do anything, or satisfied being silenced in bed or in the chair. Reaping rewards, perhaps one for glamping and another to sleaze around with, or silenced on the side at 10:48, which is the Wheel of Fortune and the walking away within of the Eight of Cups. And then nature is coming up, which is number 74, that Six of Pentacles, and beneath that forgiveness, which is 96, the reflection of 69, which is the Ace of Pentacles, the offer of time, money, and energy or new life, and healing and forgiving here. the Sovereign starting over with new information or clarity about justice, Libra, or Capricorn, or the Devil and codependencies, and the Page of Wands reversed, frustration, and perhaps all over the place and dissatisfied, or the horny little boy, or drunk on fire, frustrated, dumping multiple loads and or emotional attachments, or dissatisfied with themselves and or being alone or arrogant. Perhaps beady red eyes watching, or Dallas fan, or taking the red eye exhausted the next day, or getting a child settled in at 10:58, the Wheel of Fortune and the Four of Swords, getting some rest, a break, meditating, praying, or 5D connecting here. Perhaps unhappy after a sudden event with the King of Swords, who's in need of peace here, or nature calls, or he's worried about the kids sleeping around, or worried that he won't be forgiven. And then we have the truth of the Queen of Pentacles, or to her, keeping her up at night. Perhaps the truth was given to her, or about her, but maybe keeping her up at night, or her truth is keeping him awake to get over the loss, the regret, and the shame here, with dreams, healing, unable to function with synchronicities of the Knight of Cups, perhaps offering love to the Queen of Swords reversed, Taurus, and the King of Pentacles without peace, reaping rewards of the Queen of Cups reversed. With the patient angel here, maybe Sagittarius as well, who may be frustrated with Libra and or their destiny. And then the recent past of the Knight of Swords upright, the messenger of truth, announcing 5D messages to or of imprisonment of the King of Wands and the Ten of Cups, family or emotional fulfillment, in disconnect or at a distance with the Knight of Pentacles reversed, who may be unable to function or just stubborn and refusing to function or being lazy, with the Queen of Wands reversed under the radar, near death, or just tired of bleeding out, or the Emperor reversed, a father maybe not doing well. But the foundation here is the full moon, or not quite the full moon at the time, but of course now we're past the full moon. Or prior to the full moon here, there might have been the energy of the Hierophant, marriage, religion, or establishment, or Taurus, with an opportunity or invite, really focusing on the gold coin close up, or examining something really closely, offering big time, money, or effort, or talking about ways to grow their money, perhaps at rest or on break in the 5D Connect, and the Hermit shedding light or getting details on the commitment, or to figure out dates of a trip with the Page of Wands reversed, who may be anxious to get going, perhaps. With Cancer reversed, Taurus and Virgo both upright here, and a fiery one, the central energy is all about the lovers upright, and a big love at work, with the Knight of Wands reversed, and the Knight of Pentacles reversed here too. And they may be between, the Knight of Wands reversed may be between the Knight of Pentacles reversed and the Queen of Wands reversed. And the Queen of Pentacles, wounded warrior, may be overworked and defensive to her at 11:14, justice and that patience energy or lack of it. And the Queen of Wands reversed between the King of Pentacles and the Knight of Wands reversed, and challenged by the Hermit and reflection. And at 11:15, the Devil is the Hermit with the Queen of Wands reversed and the World upside down, or Pisces reversed, where the Page of Swords messages or stepping up to help end the suffering in silence, or to help a sister, or with nightmares on a quest to their destiny, or Libra, the King of Pentacles, with Capricorn, or awakened here. The King of Pentacles with a big love at work, or taking risk to wake up to disconnect from partner, home, or distance from lover who's away, and only confessing after they're caught, avoiding with the King of Cups upright, the fantasy family, perhaps with Sun, the Knight of Cups, offering love to third party, perhaps hostage or trapped by, or the King of Cups, who's dependent on the Empress upright here. And this also could be a dependent child between the King of Cups and the Empress, both upright here. The Hanging Man is awake to the Cups upright here, the connection who frees them, and struggling to get free, but dropping the ball or the act, with the Queen of Wands upright, who's always dissatisfied with the Page of Wands reversed, or perhaps they see them as the devil child and the high priestess pushing buttons or overwhelmed. With Pisces or Capricorn reversed here and Aries and Pisces upright, the Queen of Cups reversed may be out of options in a heated exchange with the Dependent and the Empress upright, and the Queen of Cups reversed, who could have Cancer in their chart or be dealing with a deception, or is really up early or being dumped or dumping on the King of Cups at the gate post-war with clarity of the wounded warrior, with the Queen of Cups reversed, seeing synchronicities and wanting an offer from the wounded warrior to co-create. The Queen of Cups reversed with the Knight of Cups upright, but the wounded warrior is offering to the Queen of Swords and the Ten of Cups family. The Knight of Cups offering to Cancer or the warrior, and the Four of Wands reversed, which may be an unstable home or house, or moving, visiting, or traveling, or homecoming, or asking them to come with. The Ten of Cups family or emotional fulfillment here perhaps sent him on an errand and he never came back. And soon here is the Emperor reversed, being unreasonable or without an excuse, and the Queen of Wands reversed may be satisfied with themselves or being arrogant right now and holding on, offering little to Star, who's ignoring the offer. After a sudden event or avoiding disaster or sudden change and or deception before the full moon, getting over it and being present and strong and tame, fighting for an opportunity to be more stressed out, or a child or intern who's stressing them out. With Aries, Scorpio, Cancer reversed, and then Aquarius, Leo, and Libra upright here. The twin flames seeing themselves as the starseeds upright. The divine lovers in need of attention, or under the radar, the Ten of Pentacles, family, business, or community of abundance may be drained by the liar, cheater, thief energy, or the runaway, the ghosting of Marathon Man. With Aries, Gemini upright, and Leo reversed, or someone is stealing from their lover to take to drained or draining or sick kids, and or to the Ten of Pentacles, family, business, or community. Or the lover tells them ideas in confidence and they run with their ideas to spoiled children of the Ten of Pentacles, family, business, or community. Or starseeds are seen as bad influences on the kids, giving them the wrong idea, and no reunion with the Knight of Swords upright and the Queen of Swords reversed. Or feeling a failure with the Queen of Swords reversed over one with addictions and the Knight of Swords rushing in with the truth to a negative group, or to say they can't make it, and the family with a sick child and they don't want to spread a virus. There may be a big download to the crown here about the big dynamics at play with loving self first and retreat, right, to walk away and within if needed at 1144, which is justice and that Four of Cups of grounding, integrating, and mastering the receiving of love and alignment here. That it's safe to love regarding codependence here and getting ready or getting to know each other. And around the twins is the shadow reversed of dumping a load, a burden, or responsibilities. And one, it's like plus wands. So it's someone trying to get rid of their stuff, dumping a load, their burdens and responsibilities, plus one, like they keep getting added. Or another added to the fire, and why not? Another sword in the back, another betrayal, in ending the pain, or a painful ending, or a pain in the ass, or Pisces reversed, or Divine Feminine 5D, or the world at large upside down, or the need for closure here in this crazy world, with Capricorn or Pisces reversed, and maybe one too many wands or swords here, plus one, and I with too many swords, and all or no one or no all, one, or afraid to get, let me say that again, so too many wands. So one may be with too many swords, and the all with no one, or no all, there's no all as one, or afraid to get a massage due to molestation also coming up here. The challenge being the Knight of Pentacles reversed, unable to function, or stubborn, and justice upright with the Emperor reversed, being strong on a quest for justice of abuse of power here, with the Empress upright with a dependent, justice of the Chariot in a bold move, which can be a car or travel, perhaps in a splitting of the bulls, or Libra and Cancer here, and Taurus, those three energies there, and the Knight of Cups upright offering lover to Chariot or loves to travel, with the Knight of Cups and the King of Cups, perhaps Scorpio with the Ten of Cups family here, imprisoned when they can't come together, or the Father, King of Cups, who isn't healthy, imprisoned and dependent on the Empress upright here. The Knight of Cups, Cancer, are offering to drive, to visit, with Patient Angel, and the Page of Cups reversed being vulnerable and sharing or begrudgingly settling out here. Perhaps the Knight of Cups may be taking steps to the King of Wands reversed to pass downloads, or take a risk with Scorpio, Queen of Cups reversed. With the Queen of Cups reversed could be Scorpio here, Page of Cups reversed could be Pisces, and then we also have the King of Cups in a separate two, who could be Scorpio, Sag, and then the Knight of Cups who could be Cancer or Scorpio. And we have Libra and Cancer in a two-bull split, or Taurus split, and the King of Wands reversed plus the King of Swords upright, with the Queen of Cups reversed with Scorpio in their chart. Or both the Queen of Cups reversed and the King of Cups reversed have Scorpio in their chart here. And the King of Wands reversed may not be well, or the Queen of Cups is worried about him getting sick or at the doctor. Taurus or married King of Pentacles may be reaping rewards of the Queen of Cups reversed, Patient Angel, or upset with Sagittarius, Page of Wands reversed, Libra. At 1202, which is the 12 of the Hanging Man and seeing new perspectives, and the 2 of the High Priestess, the King of Swords may be happy with the 6 of Cups soul tie and healing, or children perhaps, getting over a loss after sudden events of deception, or awakened early with download to crown, detoxing the Knight of Swords 5D messages of lovers and challenged by reflection of the Emperor reversed and the Knight of Pentacles reversed, resisting awakening to, or resisting awakening with, the Knight of Cups, with steps or a stairway to take, synchronicities of the King of Wands reversed passing downloads, and the never-ending story with the Queen of Cups reversed, and resisting the Knight of Swords messages of dissatisfaction, of deception of lovers, or Scorpio and Cancer both reversed here, who may be lovers, with ego or awake and challenged by reflection, hermit, a fresh start, or a big download to the crown, with the Emperor reversed being unreasonable, detoxing chaos, with the Knight of Pentacles reversed being very resistant or stuck, with the Knight of Cups upright going upstairs to the King of Wands reversed, who may be at risk of death, with the Queen of Cups reversed very upset here at 1217, which is the Hanging Man and healing, or the dreams coming true here and seeing new perspectives. And that the death can be dark night or an ending. It doesn't have to be a person's death here. But those were the energies of the read. And I'm very hot right now. There's a lot of masculine energy coming in. So let's pull a few cards and see what comes up for you guys. Where are we here? It's 10302. Look at that. 103. So we had 132. It's a little bit out of order as opposed to 123, which is the Magician, the High Priestess, and the Empress. And then we have the 255 of the High Priestess and the Truth of Excalibur, which also can be 25 and 5 of the Knight of Wands and the Hierophant, or some kind of commitment or guidance, or societal norms, people telling you what to do. The truth of psychic abilities, perhaps, and that everybody has that ability. Excuse me. All right, let's see what the unknown animal spirit deck has for you guys. Oh, it came right out. There's the dragonfly. And the dragonfly mates as a heart pulsing, 2 as 1. And we have the snake here as well, which for me is the collective awakening here. Okay, so this is like the twin flame energies leading the collective awakening. And there's the tiger of the lion energy here, because the Tian came up of the tiger lioness. So this is the masculine tiger, which is very Sagittarius energy for me, and the deer one over here. And there's a cheetah over here. I don't see the lion yet, but we have some interesting energy there. The bottom of the deck is the oyster, who's all clammed up, right, protecting themselves with their little feelers out, but they're not showing themselves yet, but they're putting their feelers out. Let's see what's underneath there. We have the mouse. And the mouse came up in the definitions today too, as the computer mouse as well. But you see, they're very little, and they have this beautiful rainbow light, but they're struggling because they're such a little guy and all of this heavy, dark energy. And so is the oyster. They're both struggling in the same energy. You can see that, right? So the little ones are kind of hiding out. And look at the whale. You know, that was me yesterday. The whale's really struggling with the energies in the bottom of the sea here. So both the little ones on land and the big ones in the sea, which the whale can reference the masculine energy as well, the divine masculine, are struggling here. So again, the two hearts that beat as one of the dragonfly, keeping it light and airy in the mind, regarding the collective awakening with a lot of dark energies coming in, but keeping it clear right around the surface. And the tiger coming in, paying close attention here. Okay? This can be stalking too. But these two are paying attention. You see, they're looking right at you. They're paying attention to what's going on. And this can reference the masculine and a child, or the divine feminine. And then here's somebody else, while they're looking here and paying attention to what's going on, this one's right about to pounce on them, right? They're very focused in this low vibrational energy and ready to pounce. I'm trying to see if there's anything else that wants to come up. Put that over here. I'm going to pull from the Journey of Love as well. In a way, we also have the deer one here between two kind of ferocious cats here. We've got the tiger and the cheetah, and the deer one in the middle. His very sweet and doe-like, you know, eyes. But the tiger's eyes are very much like the deer's eyes. They're just opposite in the cards. See? They look very much the same and yet opposite in color. And you just see the more masculine fierceness coming out in the tiger's eyes as opposed to more feminineness or innocent childness in the doe. It's like what to do. It's like that third energy ready to pounce, interfering with the energies of the masculine and the feminine. It's just wait for all these energies to clear. But also do your best to be in that high vibe energy. We have devotion to the small. The 32 is that 6 of Wands with good news coming in to make everybody feel good, get some attention, lead the way, success. And that can be with something very small like planting a flower, feeling really good, right? Good news about having planted a flower today or having taken care of your flower today. It doesn't have to be something big. The seed of the heart, and there's about planting seeds again. The seed is the question mark, right? That's where the start of the manifestation begins, by a small seed in the ground or a small seed in your heart. Okay, so the ground being, you know, the heart of Gaia, and this being your heart. Devotion to the small and seed of the heart. The 32 of the good news and leading the way, and the 25 of being inspired with that Knight of Wands energy, that get up and go, that kind of lights a fire under that question mark to create something new. And then this is the third card that wants to come up. That's it. The 11 of the eruption of light of Hieroskamos here, of alignment, that perfect alignment of the two sovereigns. Okay. This can even reference the feminine planting a seed with the masculine planting a seed at the same time, which then ends up as that combination of the Hieroskamos at that perfect alignment. And then, there you go, connecting to source energy. So, and then heaven. Look at that. I'm in heaven. And then 70 in the numbers is the 2 of Pentacles, which is that performance, right? The juggling, distracting people from their day-to-day worries, right? Giving them a show, something to watch, some entertainment there. And again, letting the feminine lead the way with the Knight of Cups is coming up here as well, because she's already got a handle on that snake here. The bottom of the deck is, again, the feminine energy with that snake kind of energy just kind of hovering around her as she goes into deep contemplation with the 69, which is that Ace of Pentacles of offering of time, money, and energy or a new life, and perhaps going into deep contemplation about what she really wants and holding space after having held space for the Fool's journey, loving all that is with an open heart, ready to take that leap of faith, and then perhaps having a lapse here of the need to, perhaps feeling that pull downwards or that difficult energy, the purging energy, or perhaps questioning what is important to her because the dark energy comes in. So there's definitely this Hieros Gamos energy here. The seed planted by the feminine, the seed planted by the masculine, the Hieros Gamos, and then heaven on earth here. Literally grounding heaven on earth into our bodies so that we become the embodiment of heaven on earth, allowing the feminine energy in both the men and women to lead the way as the Knight of Cups, which is being love, right? And just allowing yourself to be free, getting a handle on this Kundalini rising here. So let's pull out the books and see what they say. The Dragonfly. Also, flying came up as one of the muses earlier, and also shoe came up, but it wasn't shoe fly, but fly was right near shoe. So shoe fly, don't bother me, but just shoe was coming up. But also the opposite of that was coming in too, right? Because fly is, enjoy. All right, where are you, the dragonfly? And then the dragon was significantly coming up here, and now we have the dragonfly. So the dragonfly is master of light, illusion, and the mind. Master of it. The dragonfly is an ancient and ethereal creature that awakens a sense of wonder in all. The dragonfly is the symbol of the mind, as it is always moving and shifting and shimmering and changing. When the dragonfly card appears, it's worth considering the quality of your mind and perception. Are they restless or still? Are they dreamlike or crystal clear? The situation at hand may be different than it appears at first glance. The dragonfly reminds us to calm the mind so the light of wisdom can shine through. When in balance, they see clearly, they're joyful and magical. But when they're out of balance, they can't concentrate and their mind gets really busy. So to bring back into balance, focus on the breath or meditation. And then we have the nightingale on the next page too. So you might want to sing to help you with that. And then with the journey of love, the first card out was, where are we here? Was the devotion to the small. So the little things and the little people. And the 32. My nieces and nephews' kids, they are so cute. Let's see. 32. We have so many now. I can't keep track anymore. All right. I'm going to the wrong one. I went to page 32 instead of card 32. And page 32 is 3 to 1, number 10. Let's see, number 32. Devotion to the small. She bows. She honors growth. She sees that within the smallest flower there's the teaching of the earth, the gospel of Gaia, the mystery of life demonstrated. She recognizes that she too is of nature, subject to the mysteries of growth in life, that in honoring nature and taking pleasure in life, she opens her heart to allow great creation to happen through her. This is the feminine wisdom, alive in men and women with open hearts. There's an innate wisdom within you that understands this devotion to the Earth Mother as an important step in fulfilling your spiritual destiny on this planet. She's speaking to you now, letting you know that there's a small change happening, something that's growing within you that you may recognize but not think is so important, and yet she tells you now that it's very significant. Soon you will see that what you thought was a seed to yield a single flower is actually blossoming into a lush garden of manifestation. Gratitude and love for the small changes happening are leading you into a fullness that you can only dream of, so enjoy. The message of this oracle for you is that your blossoming is occurring now, and the Earth Mother has gratitude for your presence within her being, for the work you are doing to help other human beings. She asks for you to surrender any concern you have to her. Let her creative power continue to gently guide you into your rightful place in the world, that you may shine as you were born to do in service to the evolution of this planet. And she is helping you now, so trust her. So it's interesting because it's bringing up, instead of releasing it all to the etheric realm, it's actually asking you to release it all into grounding everything very deeply rooted into your body and into the earth as one unit. A flower is a poem that tells you the truth of a thought in the fragrance of a dream, as fleeting as a heartbeat, as lasting as a memory. And the next page is God Speaks 33, which is the Christ vibration. There you go for your post-Easter energies, or holiday Monday Easter for you guys. Remember your water, your rest, your joy, and your nature. And even if it gets a little bit dark for a bit, or really stressful or draining, just go with it. Love yourself. Take some rest, perhaps. And just know it's all good. And then get back to your mission of giving of what you love to do. Because that's what puts you in that best energy again. Okay. Rise and be love, you guys. And love and rise. As we're at 15:51. I'll see you soon, guys. Have an amazing day. And breathe.